Mr. Ivey? Great sunrise. Yes, it is. Deanna writes, good morning. On my way to Indiana for a company meeting. Will be listening through my car stereo. Okay. I know she has some issues. I'm glad you got in this morning. Daryl writes, good morning, Mr. Ivey in the Chop Shop. What happened to the Spreaker app yesterday? It just stopped working. You know what? You're now the second person to tell me that, Daryl. And I have sent them an email, and we will see. We will see. I want to make sure you have no issues when you're dealing with this particular show. Jane writes, good morning, Nathan in the Chop Shop. Well, good morning. Good morning to you. Deborah writes, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Tonika writes, good morning, team. Hashtag Team NI. Good morning, Omar. This is my favorite part of the show. Hey, Kelly, good morning to you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Tiffany. Welcome back. Good morning, Edward. How you doing? What's up, Mike Jones? What up, Jay? Good to have you. You write, morning, y'all. Carolyn writes, good morning, Chop Shop. Hit that like button. Absolutely. Absolutely. Crystal writes, I love J.R. Smith. Yes, Deanna. So thankful for phones. What? J.R. Smith. Derek writes, morning to all the great people of the Chop Shop. Actually, yeah, a lot of great people in Chop Shop. Crystal writes, was the Ultimate Warrior t-shirt shade? Can a brother be happy? Yes, it's been taking a shade. You know, anything works as motivation. And if your team just lost the NBA championship in that fashion, you're up 3-1, you're the team that's no other team has won as many games in a regular season, and you just absolutely collapse, well, then you're going to be holding on to anything you can to try to pull yourself together. Live, local, and vocal. Nate Ivey, don't go anywhere.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel? Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Now back to the show.
Greetings, salutations, good morning. Welcome back. I'll say it again. Greetings, salutations, good morning. Welcome back to the Nathan Ivey Show. Your morning destination for interesting conversation. And I'm on Bossip this morning, and I came across something that just, it's numerous things to discuss this morning, but I came across something that caught my eye. We may talk about what's in your fantasy file this morning. Yeah, it's never too early for that. Never too early. There's always a good time for it. But to this point, we've been talking about some local politics, things that are happening with the Metropolitan Sewer District. I mean, how many are there current members of the city administration and or council who are involved with this? To what degree were they involved? Was there something that was done wrong? I mean, were there any rules put in place? Who ultimately is going to be held responsible? And at the end of the day, so what? I mean, if you're not sending me a check saying, you know what, we charge you too much, or if my sewer costs do not go down, I mean, how do I pay more money in sewer costs than any actual water that I'm consuming? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. How is it even possible for my sewer rates to go up and I'm consuming less water? It doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand the explanation at all. I really don't, folks. I don't get it. What we keep getting is, well, because of this or that and the other, these improprieties, these things that weren't done right, that's why your water costs are going up. That's why your sewer costs are going up, because the cost of what they're doing, right, they're modernizing it, to upgrading it, whatever, that's the reason why your sewer prices are going up. Okay, well, I thought that the money was given to MSD via the federal government to pay for those charges, those changes. Why am I getting charged for it? I don't understand that. Do you? Maybe you've got a better handle on it per se. Maybe you don't. And you're searching for understanding like me. Make this make sense. Anybody got a water bill? Go grab it. If you live in Hamilton County, go grab your water bill and just look at it. And you tell me, have you ever paid attention to it before? I know you have. I know you have. Because you're thinking, damn it, do I consume that much water? That much? So if the reason why my sewer costs are going up is because some Gilligan has been, I don't know, gaming the system, well, then I'm all about the investigation. If this is just somehow, some kind of high-tech lynching to get the former MSD director or to somehow wrestle Sam Malone's political fortunes or futures to the mat or something garbage, I don't really have a lot of time for that. But have you been paying attention to it at all? If you don't have to pay it, then you probably have not. But if you do, certainly it's catching your attention. Because you got to be asking yourself, what do I have a slow leak? Or what the hell is a sewer district? What are you doing? Craig writes, in the house, good morning, Chop Shop. Good to see you, Craig. Brent writes, good morning. Good morning, Brent. I'm sure he's got some ill flows he'll share with us this morning. Can't wait to hear him. FG writes, good morning. Oh, great morning, Chop Shop. Yes, it is. John writes, morning. Randy writes, good morning. Brent writes, no, if anything, your rates are going to go up because of the pending new construction. Well, I thought they're paying for that construction from money that was given to them by the federal government. Why are my rates going up? Deanna writes, I hope we get a refund. Maybe we should file a class action suit. Maybe so. Brenda writes, good morning, all. Good morning. Pat writes, third person, Nate. I got kicked out of the chat yesterday. Truther writes, made it, brown skin, checking in. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Numerous things going on. Does anybody have any good ideas about legislation that should be passed? There was an amendment by Senator Dianne Feinstein. She's a Democrat from California. She's one of the Democrats that the Republicans just love to focus on. And I think it's primarily because she's a woman, okay? And her amendment would allow the Attorney General to deny a gun sale to anyone if she has a reasonable belief, a lesser standard than probable cause, that the buyer was likely to engage in terrorism. The proposal is known as the no-buy amendment. But it wouldn't just apply to people on the no-fly terrorist watch list. Now, is that reasonable? Do you believe that the U.S. Attorney General should have the ability to prevent someone from buying a gun, okay, if she believes that person, if she has a reasonable belief? Now, what is a reasonable belief? Like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Or, I can see this can connect the dots. Logically in her own mind or the minds of the people that she consults with. Is that too much power for the U.S. Attorney General? Is that an overreach of the U.S. Constitution? Is that, in your opinion, are they trampling on your Second Amendment rights? I want to get your honest thoughts about that. Here's another idea, the so-called Republican alternative by Senator John Cornyn. He's a Republican from Texas. It would require that law enforcement be alerted when anyone on the terror watch list attempts to buy a weapon from a licensed dealer. You telling me they're not already? If the buyer has been investigated for terrorism within the past 5 years, the Attorney General could block a sale for up to 3 days while a court reviews the sale. Wow. Wait. So you're telling me the way it is right now, you can have someone on a terror watch list who can go out and buy a gun, and law enforcement isn't already alerted? What in the hell? Okay, just think about these ideas. Here's another amendment by Senator Chuck Grassley. He's a Republican from Iowa. And it would make it more difficult to add mentally ill people to the background check database, giving people suspected of serious mental illnesses a process to challenge that determination. Now, why would you want to do something like that? What? And yet another idea. It's an amendment from Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut. And this would close the so-called gun show loophole by requiring every gun purchaser to undergo a background check and to expand the background check database. Now, to me, that seems to be very sensible. At the very least, why don't we do that? I mean, how many people are going to these gun shows? And there are gun shows that in the state of Ohio, it seems like on a quarterly basis, and they even get some penetration on television. Come out to the gun show. We get any kind of gun you want, any kind of gun. Kill, kill, kill. Come out and get a gun show. Come out to your gun show. Have you ever gone to a gun show? I have not, but I would. I'll be honest with you. Because I'm curious to see what goes down. Has anyone ever been shot at a gun show? They got a lot of guns there. But should you be able to just go to a gun show and make a purchase like that, and you purchase a gun, and there's absolutely no checks whatsoever? There's no background checks. You walk in, you walk out. You know, they may or may not give a damn. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've heard, this is from the streets a little bit, but I've heard that you go to some of these gun shows, man, listen, whether you got something on your record or not, they'll work with you. They'll work with you. I mean, because many of these individuals are strapped themselves, so they're not feeling any kind of anxiety from anybody. That's number one. Number two, in terms of their philosophy, I'm going to say many of them are probably pro-Second Amendment, and I mean like really, really pro-Second Amendment. And then number three is like, hey, this ain't my neighborhood. I'm here to make money. And I've even heard of people who have gone to places in the city. Gone to places or around the city, not necessarily directly in the city of Cincinnati, but maybe in one of the suburbs. But you go to an establishment and had some questions about whether they were going to be even eligible to purchase a firearm. And then I was told that the person behind the counter basically was willing to walk them around the process to help him get a gun. And even though this dude was saying up front, like, listen, I got a little something on my record, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, as long as you have that human element, you're always going to have a loophole. But what do you think about any of those ideas? These are some of the things that your so-called representatives are working on. And again, I love what Chris Murphy, that's perfect right there. Close the gun show loophole and require that every time there's a purchase of a gun, that there's a background check done. And then are these background checks really being filled out properly? Like I told you, there are people who are willing to help individuals, even strangers. Like, man, you know, I got a little something on my record. I'm having problems here. Or at least I'm not sure about it. It was a long time ago. What can I do? Can you help me out? They make a move for them. You know? And that's the way it works. Hey, good Avery. Good morning, Avery. He writes great AM. James Wright, good morning, Chop Shop. Good morning. Glad to have you. Of those ideas that I have just given you a brief description on, are there any that you believe that we should that should be immediately implemented? Is this a issue in terms of gun violence that the politicians can properly address? What exactly is your opinion on that? What is your opinion? Do you believe that there should be a cap on, you know, the amount of ammunition that citizens can have in any particular weapon? And I tell you why. I just recently seen a video, and this video was coming back from 2 years ago, and it was from California. There was a tragic shooting on one of the campuses there at one of the universities, and this young man who had a lot of mental issues, and his parents knew about it. He decided not to take his medicine for some time, and basically went on a one-man rampage throughout the campus. He actually killed one individual. The video that I saw was just nothing short of it was tense. Again, this happened a couple of years back, but the video was just released, you know, with all, with the court system and things like that. Typically these videos get tied up. So as the video starts, you see this person entering